something I can see peering out of that black hole, two luminous discs. The eyes, it might be a face, might be almost but heavens, something wriggling out of the shadow like a gray snake. Now it's another one, and another one, and another one. They look like tentacles to me. Oh, yeah, I can see the thing's body now. It's large as a bear. It glistens like wet leather, but that face, ladies and gentlemen, it's indescribable. I can hardly force myself to keep looking at it. It's so awful. The eyes are black, and they gleam like a serpent. The mouth is a kind of V-shape with saliva dripping from its rimless lips and seem to quiver and pulsate.
The atmosphere within the Lakeside Bar and Grill is lively, loving, charming. It's enough to put you at ease and almost make you forget why you came here in the first place. That was until a haunting chord reverberated out of the previously inspected jukebox. An icy chill creeps over the bar as everyone draws their attention to that specific corner. It's not supposed to do that.
And the machine was unplugged, as I recall.
It was indeed unplugged. Simmons had just unplugged the jukebox in the corner after it had started up on its own, and it being unplugged does not seem to have turned off the music, which is leading to a bit of confusion. You can kind of see Simmons set down his cowboy hat and kind of like do that sort of a peek around the side, kind of jostling it back and forth to see if something's awry. Just that first kind of once over you give a large piece of equipment like that. But people heard the plug come out, and people can hear the song still going, and it's hard not to ignore that.
Okay, cool. I am going to attempt to defuse this situation.
Nothing to see here, folks.
No, really.
I mean, I think you do the "there's nothing to see here, folks" probably quite a lot.
Oh, I do all the time. So Alistair clocks what's happening, sees that this is people are starting to get kind of like, what the fuck is that expressions on their face. And he kind of just pitches his voice to Carrie a little bit. And with just the most like dude geeking out about something that, like, you know, his like favorite mechanical shit, just goes, is like, son of a bitch, it's one of the experimental models, and is gonna like run over to the jukebox and just is like, and I'm gonna start babbling, making something up about they did like a specific run that had an experimental battery backup in case of power surges, and like just do my best, like, this is completely normal, and I want to try to use that as a way to get a look at what the fuck is going on with this thing.
All right, you know I'm gonna make you roll for that.
Nice.
Athletics, burglary, contacts, craft, deceive.
I would like to
feeling that's
roll
deceive, although you're welcome to argue otherwise.
That one.
It's not a lie. There could be a battery in there.
There could hypothetically be a battery in there. That is so I have a +3 on deceive rolls. Very good at lying. Let's see. That is... Oh my god. Losing track of my dice. And that works out to a flat on the dice, so that's a 3.
Yeah, I'll give that.
No, hang on. No, that's... Oh. Sorry. That's 2 positives, 1 negative, and 1 neutral for a 4.
Oh, then I'll definitely give that to you, yeah. No one here has the experience or expertise necessary to contradict you, so I think that actually does kind of lower the tension a little bit in the room and maybe kind of get some people to turn back to their pints.
Okay. I know I was pretty confident earlier that there was nothing off about this jukebox. So using my previous experience, like my previous once over on it as a baseline, can I tell if there's anything weird about how it's behaving in comparison? If it has lights, are the lights flashing in a different pattern than they were before? Are they like, does it look like something is this seems to me like the kind of thing where, much like a spirit box, hypothetically something could use this kind of a machine to try to communicate something. I've seen weirder shit happen. I've seen Saint do weirder shit. So can I try to get an idea of whether there's any other sort of, I guess, message that the haunting, the whatever this is trying to convey here, or if it's just sort of setting it off and that's it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it absolutely does. You're trying to interpret meaning.
Yes, I'm trying
from
to
something that does not seem to be communicating meaning.
Yep.
Yeah, if once again you'd like to roll for that, I would accept, I guess, notice and investigate, but like,
can I roll lore to see, to kind of compare this against, like, because I feel like the kind of thing, like, I've read everything I can get my hands on, and
sure,
just, like,
you have
okay.
You've got research under your belt. You read case studies as a youth.
Can I help?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you want to come over there, I think I will kind of try to gesture to try to indicate to Saint that, like, please come over here.
I'll meander over. What's your lore?
It's a 4. That's my best skill.
Well, hot damn, yeah, I'll help. I have a +2 in lore.
Oh fuck yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I'll give you a bonus. I'll give you a +1. I was trying to figure out if which one of us should roll, but clearly it's sense. You. So yeah, you're rolling at a +5, which seems almost like cheating, but that's fine. Who's gonna know? Ben, please.
Well, I did get 2 negatives, a neutral, and a positive for a total of...
But still a 4.
-1 for a 4.
Sure. You're kind of giving it a once over. I'm going to say maybe even as you approach, kind of Simmons does a sort of half apologetic, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what I did wrong, kind of to try to, like, when something goes awry and it looks like you're responsible.
Oh yeah,
ain't that just the way?
I just wave him off with
deflection.
a, like, no, this is actually, like, you had no way of knowing these were a very limited production run.
Keeping the lie going, hell yeah.
Yeah, but they were meant to, for just this kind of eventuality, an unexpected interruption in power, from before grounded outlets.
I'm going to say that you kind of give it a once over. It is indeed, I'm going to say it's indeed flashing lights, like those kind of the neon tubing sort of around the edge of a device like this. The light is behaving in a way that you wouldn't expect. Like, why would this be a feature of it to kind of like click on and off in certain segments of the thing? It feels like more like a complete electrical failure than it looks like any sort of pre-programmed thing it was meant to do. I'm going to say that it is flashing all sorts of lights, but I'm not sure if you can interpret any sort of meaning from it. As you kind of listen to the song, you're trying to see if there's like anything you can like pick up, any like underlying frequency, anything wrong about the song.
I'm gonna Google the lyrics to Whole Lot of Love real quick.
It appears to be very straightforwardly Led Zeppelin's Whole Lot of Love.
Cool. I think that even if it was not straightforwardly Led Zeppelin's Whole Lot of Love, I'm gonna be real with you, Alistair would not know the difference. It's possible that I wouldn't either.
If it helps, it's probably one of the least complicated songs they ever released.
Yeah, it's mostly, the lyrics are mostly 1, 2, whole lot of love, and I'm gonna give you my love. That's about 80% of the lyrics.
Oh yeah, okay. Not, I'm gonna be real with you, not one of their,
But it came out in 1969, though. Nice.
And of course, we know what their best one is. It's Kashmir. Da-da-da.
That's a very good song. I don't have strong Led Zeppelin like opinions.
Sure.
Fine.
Well,
I'm really not one of my favorite bands.
I'm not a lead head.
No, it's truly just, you can't tell anything wrong about the song. There's none of that kind of like backward masking sound.
Okay.
You know the sound I'm referring to.
I do.
There's none of that. There doesn't seem to be any sort of underlying tone. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with the song. It's truly that it's playing unplugged and that the kind of electrical interface is all over the map.
It's kind of going haywire. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
can I use the reader again? Can I kind of crouch behind the jukebox again and pull out the EMF reader and try and like hide behind Alistair so no one sees what the fuck I'm doing and like see what the vibes are now that we actually are in the middle of an event?
Yeah, you're trying to take the EMF meter out?
Yar. And without being seen, ideally.
Oh, sure. If you wanna roll a little stealth, you're welcome to.
Can I roll burglary?
Yeah.
Okay. Burglary is kind of like
we're counting burglary as like sleight of hand.
Yeah, burglary is like stealth but with a malicious intent. Well, so I rolled 2 negatives, a positive, and a neutral, so that evens out to a big fat goose egg with my +1 to burglary.
I was like, I guess I'm plausibly helping you by providing cover.
Sure, I'll allow it, if Ben will.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that Simmons, who is directly next to the jukebox, for sure notices.
God damn it!
Because he is like within 5 feet.
Go ahead, and tell me what else happens before I start making up lies that I can't cover up.
Sure. I don't know. You can pass it off as a very odd-looking pocket calculator, I'm sure.
I mean, maybe I was gonna try and see it reads like electronic stuff to see if there's something wrong with it, which is not necessarily a lie.
No, it does.
To see like what's wrong. Yeah, to see like what's up with I'm using it as a like troubleshooting device for what's going on with the jukebox.
Yeah, so Simmons for sure sees that. He's within like 5 feet. There's just no avoiding that, but maybe you can tell him lies, tell him sweet little lies. Which is incidentally probably also on this jukebox. Earlier, yeah, it was still kind of in the first half of the chart the first time you investigated it, but now that needle is fluctuating around like 50-60%. And it's kind of dipping wildly.
That's
dipping and surging wildly.
A lot. That's many. Oh boy, those meters are here. Okay.
Scully, you're not going to believe this.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to just show that result to Alistair and then turn it off.
Does the song does it stop after this song?
What now, Puzzle Master?
Yes, I'm gonna say it does.
Okay, I was like, because I feel like if it doesn't, we're gonna have like that's a different problem.
I'm about to get chased around the house.
This jukebox fucking haunted. Yeet.
If you look to your right, you'll see a hallway full of doors. You and the ghost are going to start running through those doors at increasingly comedic speeds.
Yeah, so I'm doing Phasmophobia, you're doing Scooby-Doo. And we meet in the middle to get BuzzFeed Unsolved, I guess. Okay, well, that's good at least.
Yeah, that is positive.
If I like turn on the EMF reader again once it's off, is it down back to 0 or is it still popping?
I'm gonna say it's like down back toward like 30%ish.
Okay, off. Back of my pocket, stand up. Well, seems like it's run out of battery. We want to plug it back in?
Yeah, I mean, I that's a... Sure, it's fascinating. They're designed to finish out the specific song. And then because anything past that, battery technology hadn't caught up to the point it wouldn't fit. You'd be looking at something the size of like a car battery. It would be.
I was gonna say ridiculous. What size battery are we looking at? Is this a D cell? Is this like a? I don't know how high batteries go. D cells are what we use for my automatic cat feeder, so I imagine it must be bigger than that. Anyway, so with that, with that little tidbit of lie spread out into the world, I'll plug the jukebox back in.
That should take care of our. I mean, hopefully, anyway.
Problem, at least for the moment. I'll give the jukebox a gentle slap and say, well, looks like we're back in business.
You notice that Simmons, who had kind of paused the stereo that he was handed by the bartender, is kind of, I think he's done for the night. I think that actually kind of spooked him a little bit. But he is, he's left the stereo there, but he is for sure kind of stepped away and put the, let's say, attachable like microphone attachment down. I think he's good for right now.
Okay.
That was enough to unsettle him, and obviously you can't perform karaoke when you're unsettled.
Of course.
No, that would be a bad idea.
No.
Because, I mean, God forbid, like, what if you were nervous and were singing karaoke? It just can't be done.
Cool. Well, if somebody else wants it, go for it. If not, I'm gonna put on fucking night moves so we could go back to our table. Sorry, secondhand news. We have not established that night moves is on the playlist, but we know that secondhand moves is on the playlist. Because I'm just secondhand news.
I was just thinking that, like, I'm just kind of filing it away that Simmons, like, was unsettled by this and therefore might be amenable to discussing something later if we kind of subtly hint that we are also, like, I don't know, man, that was kind of weird. And, like, we're not gonna act like you're nuts if you're like, hey, that was kind of weird.
Girl, did you see that? That was crazy.
Yeah, we need to, again, Alistair's like, I don't know how a saint fucking usually operates, but I feel like identifying people who are gonna be
well, mostly usually does this
idea
by having fun and being himself, but I don't know if that's fully gonna fly here, so we'll have to,
You cannot imagine what that's like. Alistair's
not
like,
Alistair's
I don't
wheelhouse.
No, yeah, but Saint's like, mostly I have fun, and he's like, mostly you just have fun and be yourself, and Alistair's like, I don't know how to do either of those things.
You do what? Taking notes.
I'm sorry.
I don't, so can you elaborate on having fun? What does that entail?
You mean to tell me that you don't have an elaborate persona?
Local man has not had fun in 20 years. But, yes, noted. Kept in mind.
Yeah.
Does the rest of the bar seem to settle down once we get the box up and running and plugged in again, and it seems like everything's, like, cool?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that you can kind of still feel some eyes on that corner. Maybe people are on like a little bit of on edge. I think particularly maybe the bartender.
Okay.
Is it Macy?
That's fair.
It's indeed Macy.
Well, all right then. Hey Macy, maybe you should be open to the existence of things beyond your understanding of the world.
For a woman who had said that the jukebox had never acted weird before, she is now faced with the fact that the jukebox is acting weird. Ergo, she can no longer hide from the truth of the matter.
Absolutely misheard that as the juice box rather than the jukebox.
Close enough.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm like, now, oh no, I'm gonna end up calling it the juice box by accident now.
They're like the same shape, kind of.
Roughly.
I am gonna wander back to our crew, which is my cousin and Harvey? That's his name?
Harvey.
And kind of do a light joking like, man, that was weird, huh? And see what the reaction from the table is. I'm sure my cousin's gonna be like, I see what you're doing, but I'm kind of more interested in what Harvey has to say.
Sure, yeah, you walk back over to the pool table, where everyone was kind of congregating earlier. Deacon kind of clearly has his eyes on you specifically. I think he already just kind of knows how your brain is operating right now.
Who, me?
Yeah, well, consider maybe that he's the only one here who knows your actual background. I guess other than Lefty, who called you in. And also, there's a little bit of familial intuition there. However, infrequently he may end up actually seeing you. I think he can kind of tell, like, oh, this is a worm on a hook for you.
Yeah. He's like, I know this bitch can't lie to save his life. He's fishing and he's not very good at it.
I'm going to say he looks at you kind of pretty coldly. I'm going to say he's got a To contrast him with the other drinkers at this establishment, I'm going to say he is drinking straight out of the bottle.
Girl, you have to drive home later. Let's slow it down.
Not hard liquor, a beer.
Oh, okay. You understand my confusion.
Yes. Yeah, hey, you want some of this tequila?
Yeah, I'm like, damn, okay.
No. Drinking straight out of the beer bottle.
Yeah. I think he and I both are doing that.
Or whatever, prior to, what did we call it earlier? Schmap, schmoo, schmibben?
Oh, no, it's Pabst Blue Flag.
It's Pabst Blue Flag, please, Ben.
Of course.
And Rolling Stone.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
It's a dumb joke.
Yeah, well.
Hey, you know what? And yet, I'm gonna keep making it.
Oh, of course. I'm gonna say he really kind of like, it's a very cold, and it's like, it's quiet enough that it's maybe not supposed to even be heard by Harvey. But it's a very cold battery, huh?
Don't fucking blow up my spot, bro! Really? This is his revenge for the time that we had a 4th of July party, and I took both halves of the popcorn we were supposed to split.
Those little things that stay with you forever. It's family. I'll say that because this is funny, I think that Alistair's talking to Harvey and maybe is not necessarily paying super close attention to... I think Alistair's like, oh, like, this is Saint's family, like, I don't need to necessarily be on high alert if you're talking to, like, your family, which I don't fucking know.
True.
If you need me to be wary of your family, you might need to, like, tell me.
No. If I do, I don't know that. Perhaps Ben has
Fair.
some secret plans, but as far as Saint is aware, no.
Okay, cool.
So Saint just kind of grimaces at Deacon and is like, I mean, that's what Al said. This is more his line of work than mine. And then makes another face. and then promptly takes a swig of his beer and puts his face in his hands. I'm letting you handle Harvey, alright? I'm
Yeah, absolutely.
I just told my singular half-truth for the year. It's like I did a half-truth earlier this arc, and I'm doing another one now, and I'm spent. This is all I got. I put all my quarters in the slot. Unless you want help talking to Harvey, in which case, obviously, I am.
No, that's completely fine. I am perfectly happy to be handling Harvey, which I think I'm just gonna... Alistair's gonna kind of trust his, like, if I don't bring it, like, I'm gonna wait for him to bring it up. If he wants to comment that he thinks it's weird, then I will, but if he's gonna kind of, in that way that men sometimes are kind of just like, if you just go, I'm confident that this is, that I, everything is fine, like, if I act like everything is normal, people often act like everything is normal. So
true. People love to just
certainly.
assume that you know what's going on if you pretend that you know what's going on.
That is, in fact, like, the foundation of my whole fucking character.
Information, or
I'm a
disinformation management.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's nothing about Harvey's immediate reaction to you that would indicate that he doesn't believe you. I think he's maybe a little more focused on the game, and it was not... once he heard that battery explanation, unlike Deacon, he was just willing to roll with it.
My favorite kind of Mark.
He hands you back your pool cue and gestures to the table that it's your turn.
All right, I will absolutely just keep playing pool. Like nothing happened.
Lefty Douglas from earlier does, however, kind of come out of that kitchen access door and makes his way toward the two of you, but specifically toward Saint. He does not like really approach the table directly, but just kind of like leaning out of that door just kind of gives a very exaggerated kind of eye movement of like, see?
Yeah, I'll give him I'll just give him like a nod. Like, yeah, we saw it, like...
We know, bro.
Yeah,
we know.
we that is something that I'll talk to him about later, but there's no way for me to run over and intercept him without seeming so weird, because we just rolled into town. Why do I know the chef here? So I'll just give him a, nod. I gotcha. I saw that. I heard that.
He kind of nods back and, I'm going to say closes that kitchen door, but you can kind of see him through that fry cook window again, just kind of still scanning the bar a little bit. He is certainly on edge, more so than the other patrons are, even Simmons, who is directly next to it.
Eyes up, ears open.
From the opposite end of the bar, I'm going to say you can hear glass shattering.
Oh, shit.
Oh, somebody's throwing a fit. Somebody's getting active.
There is a wall-mounted kind of cowboy figure. A neon little kind of sculpture, just like some sort of old beer sign. There's a clear break in the neon, and there's that kind of thin, vaporous chemical smoke pouring out of the top of the broken neon tubing. Such in a way that it very much appears that this gentleman has lost his cowboy hat.
Rip. Is anyone going for it? It's basically oh shit, I gotta unplug that, because if not, I'm going over there to unplug that, because that seems dangerous.
She seems certainly hesitant. It's the kind of, the sort of hesitation where you're I don't know if I should get closer to this or if I should leave it alone. What's the protocol for stepping within a fractured neon light? Do you just call the fire department? She doesn't know.
I
don't know.
There's one half of this group which would probably look this up on Google before they go. And the other half of this group is Saint. So, Ezra, do you just happen to know this?
No, I just Googled it.
Oh, okay.
I was pretty sure I knew what the answer was, though. I will say that.
The most important thing to remember is that broken neon signs should never be handled by anyone other than a professional.
Yes.
If you break your own sign or someone else's, that's a fun detail. Call an electrician immediately and let them know what happened so they can come out and safely remove it.
Can you not just run ahead and unplug it and then leave it be?
I think it's going to keep. It's going to keep leaking neon. The thing is that the problem with neon is that effectively it can suffocate you by replacing oxygen. But it's a noble gas. It's inert. It's not going to react with anything else.
Okay.
But it is. So if we were in an enclosed space and there was a bunch of neon, then you would need you would need oxygen tanks or something. But I don't think a little bit of it from that's not a very big sign. This is a pretty big space. Don't stick your nose in it and inhale.
We're gonna get high off those noble gases, baby.
Maybe hold your breath while you're over there, but you're not gonna
I'm worried about electricity continuing to run through this. She can call an electrician tomorrow and get it removed, but I'm worried about leaving it overnight,
I don't think that it's gonna be...
Okay, once again, Saint doesn't know any of this, and his instinct is
totally
to go and unplug it, so he's gone.
Nope, that's good. That's good. You should go... you should definitely...
Alistair's looking this up on his phone, and Saint's I'm out of here. I do think that I and Saint have enough wherewithal to, not touch the sign.
Smart.
Because so if the plug would require me to move or touch the sign, I'm not going to do anything about it. But if it's one of those things where I can unplug it without actually touching the thing itself, I am going to just unplug it to be safe.
Smart.
There's a spark or two perhaps shooting out the top of it, but maybe you shield yourself with with your shirt or your jacket.
I roll my shirt down.
Exactly. In such a way that you feel comfortable enough kind of ducking down toward that outlet and pulling the plug on it.
Okay.
Cool. Unlike the jukebox, that is a actual cessation of the electricity and does not keep sparking and keep threatening you.
Okay.
Good.
Spookily.
Whew. Tragedy averted.
Wow, okay.
No need to call the fire department tonight.
That is still, however, 2 alarming concurrences within a few minutes.
Yeah, it is.
Cool. Neon sign busted. This is more dramatic than what we have heard happening in the past, because previously we heard, the jukebox turned on its own, and the glass got moved around, and now it's there's signs exploding, and, the jukebox continues to work, even though it's unplugged. So it seems like whatever is happening, the spirit is getting more agitated, for sure. Potentially because there's people actually looking into his death. If I had to take a guess or a gander, maybe, but I think Alistair and I need to have a meeting at some point.
Yeah.
I don't want to pull off my fucking EMF meter again, because somebody is definitely going to notice. And I don't want to start being like, Philip, are you here with us? Is Philip in the room with us? And roll an empathy, because someone is also going to be like, hi, why are you yelling the name of a dead man you've never known? But I am starting to get, one, because this is a fucking podcast, and there has to be a ghost here, because that's the podcast worst. Except for chapter 2, that time we realized there wasn't a ghost way too late, because we didn't know that was the thing that could happen. But I'm pretty sure there's probably a ghost in this actual chapter. And Saint is also like, this is a really strange escalation of events. Neon signs don't often explode on their own, especially directly after a jukebox started playing on its own and kept working after Unplugged. Ergo, A plus B equals C, I feel like there's something going on here, but we'll need to, Alistair and I can have a conversation later about said thing, and I think for now, we should continue to stand in this bar and watch and see what else happens. Because I'm guessing something else will happen.
Rule of threes.
How does...
Oh my god, what's her name? Bartender
Macy, like the store.
Macy. Oh man, I was getting Maisie. I don't know where that came from.
I literally remembered because of Macy's.
No, that's fucking great.
That's right, the bartender and owner of this place, Nordstrom's. JC Penney's.
Sorry, that really got me.
Jesus Christ, super pennies. That one was for Ben. Anyway,
that took me a second.
Yeah,
I took a second to hit.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb, but that's okay.
What, Jesus Christ pennies?
Super pennies, yeah.
Yeah, Jesus Christ super pennies.
Jesus Christ. Super pennies.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So I think for now, the bet is to sit around and see if this is a rule of three situation. And also, now we will have potentially multiple witnesses, especially because my cousin is here, and I can walk back and be like, you saw that shit, right? Like, hello? And the more witnesses we have, the more people we can talk to, which is good. Because tonight is kind of like, I don't know, sit around and wait and hope for the best. And now, potentially, if more stuff keeps happening, we can, talk to more people. And also, hopefully, stop anyone from getting hurt. Because now I'm starting to get concerned.
Yeah, that is an escalation to the point where I'm like, ooh, okay.
I hope we're not starting to throw kitchen knives or something. Or shove people.
Does Macy react differently to the sign going? Because I know she's kind of our main, if we could get her on side, that would be the easiest thing. I don't think it's necessarily going to happen, but that would be the kind of like the ideal.
I'm going to say that for sure as Saint kind of walks, away from the site of the incident just now, I'm going to say Macy is clearly grateful and kind of nods a thank you for doing that, and then kind of gestures to the taps and says, whatever you want, I guess you're drinking free tonight for doing that.
Fucking bazinga. But once again, he's not drinking hard. I think I said last time that, he's worried about someone being able to drive safe.
ParaScience is a show about practical consideration.
That's right. Don't drive drunk.
I'm actually being 100% sincere. I like how in the weeds we get about shit like hotel keys and
I
like driving directions and stuff.
It's fun.
Also, if I get drunk, I can't be a good ghost investigator. Ghosts could fly right by me and I wouldn't fucking know. What if I get blackout? No, absolutely not. Ghosts first. You can put that on. You can put that on a t-shirt.
Get drunk on the job.
That's right. I'm working right now. What kind of amateur do I look like? Cool. I'll just say Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. I'm still working on my other drink, but I'll let you know.
She nods and just kind of says, well, appreciate you.
Yeah, of course. You, I don't know if you know this, maybe I'm being too concerned. You're gonna want to call an electrician for that, tomorrow, though, still, even though I unplugged it, just to, get it out of there safe. Just, I worry. You may already know that, sorry.
She looks back at it and she's like, yeah, tomorrow for sure. I can't imagine anyone's coming out tonight.
I can't either. It sounds like, everyone's probably, done working for the day, but should be okay for tonight.
She nods back at you and then continues tending bar.
Back about our business. Tweedledee. Back to my club. Tweedledee? I don't fucking know. Do I get another...
Matty, I'm genuinely in shock.
Yeah, I really don't know what just happened. I really
don't know how to reply to that.
That's okay.
I just used it as a filler.
Just let it roll over you.
For sure.
Hi
diddly-dee, an actor's life for me.
Yeah, basically. I just kind of live in the moment. I'm going back to the club. Am I getting another look from my cousin? But am I getting another, that ghost bullshit look, or am I getting a you dumb motherfucker kind of look? Maybe both. Probably both. I'm sure Alistair, phone in hand, Google up, is giving me a you dumb motherfucker look.
No, but... I think he is kind of looking at you like there's a little bit of a bro, I was gonna way to just walk over and fucking poke the thing that you without checking to see if you thought it was gonna explode or something like that. But it's all's well that ends well, etc., I guess.
Shrug emoji. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm trying to decide if he says something snarky about that or not.
Yeah. What are you gonna maybe let's fucking go.
I think maybe he does. So Alistair looks up from his phone and just says, impressive on-the-fly dispersal calculations. Internal volume of the bar is big enough that you don't have to worry about simple oxygen replacement asphyxiation. Then he puts his phone in his pocket.
Well, you know me, I'm a smart guy.
What a nerd. That's all I had to say on the matter.
Well, we all knew this already. His best skill is lore.
Yeah.
My lore is a +2, and I'm literally a leading academic in my field.
I'm assuming I would imagine we're probably done with this game of pool. Games of pool don't usually take that long. I mean, maybe they do.
I mean, there's 4 of us. We're swapping around probably. Unless we've decided to go back to darts. In and out.
Let's not. Maybe, I don't want to cause any more I don't want to cause any more property damage.
Maybe 1 dart?
Maybe?
As a treat? I'll also say that no, I'm not gonna say I'm drinking for free tonight. I don't want to cause a ruckus. What the fuck did we use to roll darts last time? I think nothing. I think neither of us had a bonus here. So
neither of us had a bonus, so it was just a flat roll, and we both rolled absolute poo-poo garbage.
I'm rolling. Oh my god! I rolled 3 positives and a neutral. I go over and I'm gonna roll 1 dart as a treat, and I rolled a +3, which is nearly a maximum for what I can do, considering that I have no bonus here.
1 drink saint is way better at darts than
2 drink saint. Yeah.
2 drink saint, excuse me. And we're not gonna, maybe a different night of this mystery we'll find out if 3 drink saint is even better at darts.
3 drink saint starts hustling. Are we gonna find out what drunk saint and Alistair are like? Stay tuned.
Only one at a time, because one of them has to.
Yeah, exactly. No, we'll walk.
I have 2 thoughts on that. 1, what a nightmare. Cool. I won't have to DM that episode.
Yeah, no, you just don't show up to the call. Ezra and I start recording. Ezra and I both really get drunk and start recording. And that's Patreon content.
That is such a wind it up and let it go.
That's free Patreon content. Ezra and I start drinking. and just start recording, and then I cut it all up and put it on the Patreon. Give us votes now if you want that to happen.
Yeah.
I'll
I'll come in, I'll do my intro, and I'll just be like, all right, you two, I'll see you in about an hour and a half.
Okay, thanks, bye. I'm doing Jello shots.
You crazy kids have fun.
Yeah. Anyway, so I rolled a +3 on shooting a single dart, which I imagine does me pretty okay.
Bullseye.
Yeah!
Nice.
I pump my fist and I go back to the pool table.
One dart to rule them all.
Yeah. I'm feeling confident. I didn't die earlier, after running headlong into something that could have killed me if I wasn't smart enough about it. And I just hit a fucking bullseye, so, everything's coming up, Saint.
You can't touch Saint.
That's right. 'Cause he'll slap your hand away. A la Gale from Baldur's Gate 3. Just slap that hand. Yeah, okay, what's the reaction from the other fellows at the table beyond just like, wow, that was fucking weird? Or, I guess the rest of the patrons of the bar. We're gonna keep asking, like, every time something weird happens.
Yeah.
What's the response from the bar at hand? Speaking of slapping hands.
For people like you two, who have had direct experience with these type of encounters, this is very obvious evidence between what you've measured with your tools and what you have seen with your kind of eyes, and you're obviously comparing that to phenomenon that you've experienced in the past. The two of you have already bought into a world in which you know this kind of thing happens. The other people in this bar, I guess with one exception, that being Lefty Douglas, do not necessarily believe that this kind of thing can happen. There are kind of moments in all of our lives that we're not fully able to explain just because of how we perceive it or how memory works or anything like that. But it is for some people an enormous buy-in to presume that there is something unseen and even supernatural that is affecting their material world. Those two things back to back do seem to have put your cousin on edge just a little bit. It doesn't seem... He's not cowering where he stands. He's not like biting in his fingernails. He's not pointing at the corner and going, my god, there's a ghost, or anything like that. But you can tell that the tension that was dispersed earlier with that battery comment, the tension is right back there. Does that mean that anyone in this bar is leaping to, well, obviously there's a transparent soul of a dead person who is fucking with our electronics? Not necessarily. That's a bit of a leap. But there's something happening here. And the people around the pool table are picking up on it.
Does that include the rest of the bar as well?
The rest of the bar, not so much, but the people that you've been associating with, for sure.
Okay.
The people who have perhaps heard Lefty's theories directly. And Deacon, who very much knows what you do.
Okay. I'm gonna, like, lean on the pool table next to him, like, try to be casual, and, like, lean in to, like, talk to him where he can hear it, and just be like, it's gonna be okay. I got it. Don't worry. And, like, give his arm, like, a squeeze, and then, just keep casual, like, leaning, looking around the room, drinking my beer, whatever.
To Deacon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He doesn't respond.
Fair enough.
But there's kind of a physical understanding there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I don't think I'm gonna be able to... I don't know that I want to diffuse this one.
I mean, yeah, the less we diffuse it is the more people who believe in what's going on, and ergo, the more people who are likely to talk to us about what's happening and what they may or may not have seen. What time is it? I don't need exact time, but just kind of the span of, like, how close we are to closing time.
Let's see. I described when everyone kind of got there after their various ships. It's probably like 8:30 now.
Okay, I know night has... So there's... Is this the kind of place that closes at midnight, or that closes at 2?
It probably closes at 2.
Okay, I was gonna say, how much time do we have left tonight? And the answer is, a lot! Well, golly gee willikers, gang.
Huh. I'm trying to figure out if there's anything sort of, I feel like we've kind of...
Trying to think of what active moves we could take besides outside of passive moves.
Yeah. I'm kind of, I feel like since we know this is going to unfold over multiple nights.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know that there's a ton of stuff left.
Outside of waiting and seeing what happens.
Outside, cause like if there's some other, it's like if there's some other like stimulus that happens, but I feel like Alistair at least feels like we've laid a pretty good groundwork.
Yeah.
For tonight, for what we were trying to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Before we hit the Sims 4 fast forward button on this night, I told my cousin I was coming through town. I don't think I ever confirmed, like, can I stay with you? And I feel like having that conversation in character is gonna be kind of awkward. Is he cool with us chilling with him, or do we just need to, like, camp out in the van or find another place to stay? Just so I know where we can go.
He's cool if you spend the night.
Cool.
Okay.
He's like a 2-bedroom, right?
Sure, he'll have to.
So is there only one bed? Uh-oh. I know one of us is gonna sleep on the couch or sleep in the van. This is not gonna be a sharing a bed situation. But I saw the joke, like, coming over the horizon like a beautiful sunrise, and I was like, I gotta snap a photo of that before it gets too far away from me.
It's vitally important.
The potential is there, and there's no way we're gonna take it. It's gonna slide right by us. One of us is sleeping in the van and or on the couch.
It's enough to know that there is a universe.
There's a universe in which they share the bed, and it's not this one. I'm sorry. The All Saints clock is not that far up yet. I think it did. This will have probably got up by the time this episode goes up. Is I made the the compilation of the competency moments.
Ah, yes.
And the first one, Ezra, you make the joke about the All Saints clock ticking up one, and me catching the pool cue, I imagine, also made it tick up one, but we are still not high enough up on the clock to get it so that we're sharing a bed.
I do agree with the pool cue thing having ticked the clock up.
I saved you from a rogue pool cue by being so good at my dex check that I fucking snapped it up and I handed it to you like a gentleman.
It was very gallant of you.
Yeah, but we're still not sharing a bed. Yeah.
No.
I just had to say it out loud for the people at home listening along, including potentially my dad. Hi, Dad.
Look, I don't care if your dad knows that we, like, sort of ship our characters on this show.
I don't either.
It's funny.
Mr. Matthew's dad, sir. Thank you for your support.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So I think other than that, we can kind of fast forward through the night unless something else eventful happens or, like, someone, we have the potential for an interesting conversation or something. Because I think right now we're in the, like, Monster of the Week episode observation stage. This is a 2-parter. Not literally, but in terms of, like, if this was a TV show, this would be a 2-parter. We're doing the first episode of observing and talking to people, but, like, casual.
I'm trying to think about, let's see.
Unless we want to start wandering up and talking to people and be like, was that fucked up or what? I don't think so. I think we want to
I will say
chill.
One thing I would like to keep an eye on is I would like to just see if anyone goes to, like, especially as the night goes on and people maybe get a little more intoxicated, is there anybody in particular who, for instance, like, makes any toasts toward the wreath display in the corner, or seems to be, like,
particularly emotional?
Yeah, or moving to interact with it in some way. Somebody who might have had some kind of especially like noteworthy relationship with the deceased. Just in case, just like to kind of like build out my mental, I don't know, dossier,
map,
as it were. Yeah, my map of the social fabric of this community.
Yeah, there's like a couple other dudes and the gal who are in here, if I'm recalling correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, outside of the people that have already been identified. So I think there's a few options, potentially.
And maybe kind of just like listen in to hear if anybody, like, did Lefty's not the guy who did...
Phil.
Oh my god.
Phil.
My brain is full of fucking holes tonight. Did
Screwdriver.
Phil have...
I'm associated with brand names.
Oh, there you go. Okay, Philip Screwdriver. Did Mr. Screwdriver have, no, I can't do this.
That was his favorite drink. Wow.
Wow. Did Phil have a partner or a family that anybody maybe mentioned? I don't know if we ever found that out.
I imagine in my brain, he was the other man in some kind of relationship, but that's because I like drama.
Okay, I love that. That sort of thing of, like, the way that, the way that people... This is a small town. Very little happens here.
Yeah.
You get the vibe. And so something like this, like, obviously, people probably aren't being, like, morbid about it.
Sure.
But
it's the night that Patty Murphy died.
Yeah.
It's a night I'll never forget.
Yeah,
some of the boys
loaded
got
drunk. They ain't got sober yet.
So, yeah, anyway, that's just the only other thing that I kind of want to have on my mental radar,
Yeah, you have asked very few people about the man himself, is all I'll say.
That's true. Well, I know, it's like, I'm trying to be...
But it's also really awkward to be like, hey, do you want to talk about your friend who just died?
Certainly.
Like, I don't necessarily think that's a bad look. That's a good look for our first night in town, We can talk to Deacon about him later, though.
Yeah, definitely. But I kind of feel like at this point, maybe, like, that's something that we'll earn on, like, subsequent nights.
When we level up our friendship with these people.
This doesn't necessarily
Social rank
seem
up.
to be particularly time sensitive, and that could be, that could be like Alistair's imperfect understanding of the situation because he's not an exorcist, and therefore, like, I think we'll probably kind of be relying on Saint to say we need to get a move on, like this is becoming something that we should be worried about or not. Like, if this becomes a, like, yo, we gotta figure this shit out before X, Y, or Z bad thing happens, like, I'm not gonna know that. Does that make sense?
Certainly.
But, for now, it does seem like, moderate property damage aside,
I think that at this point, nobody is getting hurt, right? The closest we've come to being hurt is that neon sign being blown. There have been glasses moved around, the jukebox has gone on, and, God, there was like one other thing. There was like one other, like, notable event. But none of them have been, like, people being cursed, people being possessed, people being severely, like, injured or shoved around or pushed. We're not at a point where people are being bodily harmed in any way, which is the point where Saint would be like, we are on urgent duty, like, we need to go and get this settled. We're at a point where, like, there's minimal activity, to the point where before tonight, we weren't even entirely sure if there was even something going on.
yeah.
Now we're at a point where he is fairly certain that something is going on, but we need to confirm, we need to get more information. We have the flexibility and the time to actually, come up with a solid plan and, like, potentially solve this in a way that doesn't require a full-ass exorcism, right? Because I don't know what a full-ass exorcism for Saint looks like. So... Which maybe this is the chapter we find out. So we have time. I don't think, and this is something that he and I will, Alistair and Saint will probably talk about in the van later or something. But that, and I think we talked about it maybe earlier in this chapter too, but we'll talk about it more in depth, where, like, we have time. This doesn't need to be solved tonight. This is not a one-night situation. we can, like I said, fast forward through this night and spend some time, maybe talking with the people. We can wander around from table to table, maybe using my cousin as an intro if he's willing. It seems like right now he's kind of like, he's kind of freaked out, so he may not be willing to be kind of our, like, third party member in terms of being like, hey, I need you to, like, get me in so I can talk to people, because right now he's kind of experiencing his first haunting.
That is
ergo,
a good point.
he is having a moment of, like, what the fuck is happening? Because let me tell you, the first time you experience something, that is really weird like that, you don't really know what to do. So I imagine that tonight, he is not going to super want to do anything.
Makes sense.
But we can try. That doesn't mean we can't kind of wander around from table to table. And, and even hell, I mean, there might even be people who will come over and talk to us because I just, like, sprinted over to unplug that sign. And I'd be like, hey, I really appreciate you doing that. Can I get you a drink or whatever? And I'll be like, oh, I got free drinks on tap, but, like, it's nice to meet you. I'm Saint. I'm with Deacon. What's up with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then start talking to people more and get an idea of, like, just what the situation here is. And then from there see who might be more open to talking so we can just be fully in the information gathering stage like we have been, but broaden our horizons of information we can get.
That sounds very smart and reasonable to me.
Ben, I'm not going to force you to, like, do every intro separately, but, like, if we want to, for example, be more productive tonight and you are open to that idea, I would like to potentially have the situation of people walking up to be like, hey, thank you guys for, like, handling the jukebox and the sign. I don't recognize you, and, like, do intros that way, maybe. And then you can just be like, here's all the people who are in town.
Yeah.
Who are in this bar, anyway.
This does definitely seem like, I mean, this seems like a small enough town that, like, these are two new people. Like, these are two strangers. I don't know that we see strangers that often. This is not...
Like, I think it's a little bit more weird for us to start randomly running up to people and being like, hi!
Like, It took, it took some finessing to meet Harvey, but I feel like maybe between Harvey clearly knows people, Deacon clearly knows people.
We've been hanging out with them all night.
Actually, I tell you what, can my catalyst for this be something like, hey, like, this is a nice bar. Some joke about, like, Saint and I have been on the road, like, just talking to each other for, like, a couple days now, and, like, I've heard all his jokes. It's like a ribbing thing, be like, like, oh yeah, like, I've heard all of Saint's jokes, like, do you want to maybe, would you mind introducing us to a few new faces? I just for the love of
that
God,
is
if
true.
I have to hear the one about the...
We can't do this through Harvey, I guess.
Or, I mean, or Harvey or Deacon are just kind of a combination of the two, but I'm gonna say, in order to kind of try to angle for some introductions... Yeah, so I think Alistair, is as they're kind of maybe finishing up a game of pool or whatever, and, like, Saints kind of managed to calm Deacon down a teeny bit. Alistair kind of just stretches out his, like, shoulders and is like, says, I think he says to Deacon and also to Harvey, he says, like, all right, Deacon, your cousin, great road trip buddy, I'll let him have the aux cord anytime. But it's just been the two of us in that van for, like, 3.5 days. I've heard all Saints material. If I gotta hear the one about the weed whacker one more time, I'm gonna do vehicular homicide. Any chance,
I'm gonna GTA both of us off this fucking road.
Yeah, I'm gonna... Yes.
What is that about all Saints material?
Yeah, girl, I'll whack your weed any day.
Whoa!
Any chance of meeting some new conversation partners tonight? Or at least somebody with a joke about a different kind of gardening equipment. I'll take anything.
Deacon indeed kind of nods a little bit. He goes, yeah, I get you. Yeah, I can introduce you around. Why not?
Oh,
everybody game up on my ass.
Before he does, he kind of takes a step back and addresses his cousin directly with, I don't mean to pry. You got a place to stay tonight?
I just made such a face. I wasn't ready for that question, even though I should have been. No, I mean, we kind of figured we'd find somewhere, or, like, worse, just be in the van. I've camped worse places. I wasn't too stressed about it.
All right, well, at the very least, let me give you somewhere to park.
I won't say no. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, just, when you leave, I'll leave when you leave. How about that?
Okay, works for me.
And yeah, Deacon kind of drives Alistair over toward the bar, kind of gestures that way.
Sure.
And says like, yeah, let me show you around. And I think right here is actually where we can end this episode.
Okay.
Oh, fuck yeah.
What you've been listening to was ParaScience, a glimpse into a world unknown. It is an actual play horror adventure told to you through the Fate system. Our players are Ezra Kaye as Man in Black Alister McAndrews, and Matty Trumbo-Gomes as capable young man St. Garcia Flores. As for myself, I was your game master and disembodied voice, Ben Hamlin. I also produced this show, with editing assistance by Matty Trumbo-Gomes. Our theme song was by the incorporeal Johnny Rinaldo, and our logo was created by the haunted visage of Terra Bosart. This show is brought to you by Infinity Break, where we're telling stories our own way. You can check out our website and all of our other shows at infinitybreak.net, and I would encourage you to join the haunted chorus of voices at the Infinity Break fan Discord, bit.ly/Infinity Talk. That's capital I Infinity, capital T Talk. We have a Patreon at patreon.com/Infinity Break, where you can start donating to Infinity Break for as little as $1 a month. Finally, if you listen through Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave a review. Reviews help us rise in the podcasting charts and help more people stumble across our show like a body in the woods. That's all for now. Let ParaScience gaze back at you like a face in the mirror that isn't yours.